the Yankees lost last night, and now the Red Sox move on to face the Astros. Michael Kay was there, the Yankee play-by-play announcer for Yes Network, and Michael joins us now. Well, recap what happened last night and maybe put a bow on this season, Michael.
Well, I mean, for the second straight night, I thought that Aaron Boone was a little bit too slow taking out the starter. It was very, very curious. I think both nights they came in almost like what the NFL does, scripting plays. I think they had it scripted when they were going to go to the bullpen, how many outs they thought they could get out of the bullpen. And after Benintendi got hit in the third inning yesterday, I thought that somebody should get up. But, after the game, Aaron Boone, who I thought for the most part did a really good job in his first season managing, said, we wanted to get him through Jackie Bradley Jr. Well, that was 6 batters later, 3 runs later, and that was essentially the game. So I think that's going to be the postmortem. The last 2 games, he didn't get the starter quick enough.
I mentioned this in the first hour, but I've railed on this before, Michael. I know I sound like the old guy get off my lawn, but it still feels like in the postseason, you have to have that ability to manufacture a run. Like there has to be these small moments that teams have, and it's going to play out in the championship series and the World Series. It feels like the Yankees they're certainly built for the regular season. Were they built for the postseason?
Dan, I had this debate maybe 4 or 5 times throughout the year with Aaron Boone, and it was like away from the ballpark sometimes or off the record, and I would say the flaw in this team is that the only way they score is via the home run. And he would take out stats. They have stats that, and they have stats for everything. So it's hard to argue. It's like arguing with a robot, and then they go, well, home run production actually goes up in the postseason, not down. So you're wrong. But when you look at it, the last team, I think one team in 33 years has won the World Series by hitting the most home runs, and that's the 2009 Yankees. One. And the Yankees always talk about they have traffic on the base paths. They do. They work the count. But you watch that 9th inning yesterday against Kimbrel. The way they were scoring was with a home run. There was no base hit to right field. I just believe that you've got to be able to get a base hit every now and then. I love the home runs. I think that it's great to get 3 runs on one swing. That goes all the way back to Earl Weaver. But they just don't do a base hit to right field to score 2. They just don't do it. Sanchez almost hit it out. That would have been a great cleanse of his season. And you're waiting on Giancarlo Stanton to do it, and he strikes out. That's the only way they really know how to score, but they insist that can win in the postseason. Dan, I've seen it since since 2000 when they won the World Series. All those 2003, 2004, 2005 teams, they hit a lot of home runs, and they got knocked out in the playoffs every single time because I truly believe that great pitching will stop you from hitting home runs.
Yeah, and I look at the Red Sox and the influence of Cora on this roster after coming over from Houston because Houston was a strikeout team a few years back, and they put the ball in play. Now, they still hit home runs. Everybody does.
Right.
But I saw some influence from the Astros on these Red Sox, and now you have these two teams clashing. Handicap what you think will play out in the ALCS.
I think it's really a good ALCS. You know what? I thought the Yankees would win in 4, so you can obviously hang up on me in terms of how much I know. But I think the Astros are on a roll. They're pretty special. I think their starters are better than the Red Sox. I think their lineup is kind of equal to the Red Sox, but they've got guys that have been there and done that. So, yeah, they make contact. They don't strike out as much, and I'll take the Astros. I think the winner of this series is going to win the World Series.
As far as what the Yankees do in the offseason, I'm looking at the pitching staff. I know you're still tied up with Sabathia a couple more years, right?
No, you're done.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, he wants to come back, but they have to decide whether or not they want to bring him back.
Oh, okay. So what's the big ticket item? What are they shopping for in the offseason?
I would think Corbin from Arizona. I think, as much as we look at analytics in the bullpen and how important it is, the reason the Red Sox won this series, Dan, is they got better starting pitching. And that allowed Alex Cora to make decisions more at a leisurely pace rather than, have to pull a starting pitcher early. When they did get to a starting pitcher, That's when the Yankees won Game 2. So I think they're going to have to improve that. Now, the big question is going to be, now we've had Hal Steinbrenner on my radio show a number of times, and he has said, one of the keys of this year was to get under the salary tax threshold. So they accomplished that, so they reset the number. And a lot of people think they might go out now and just spend big again because they reset the number. But Steinbrenner has told me over and over, he says, I don't think you have to have an over $200 million payroll to win a World Series. But if they decide, okay, it's been 2009 since we won, now let's just go out and spend. I mean, they can get Harper, they can get Machado, they certainly have the money for that. They can make those big-ticket item sort of purchases, or they can continue on the path of development within their system, bring up a Justice Sheffield, things like that. And even if they decide to be somewhat prudent in going the free agent market, I still think that they will go after a guy like Patrick Corbin, and that will solidify the rotation because they need starting pitching.
The temperature on your radio show when it comes to the Giants with Eli and Odell Beckham Jr., where do the fans, you think, stand in New York on all of this?
You know what? I think it goes down according to age. Young people seem to like Odell Beckham Jr. The older people do not like Odell Beckham Jr. I guess I fall into that latter category. I'm the guy get off the lawn in this case because I just thought what he did in that interview with Josina Anderson, it's not needed. That's not leadership. That's not what you do. And Eli Manning certainly takes the high road. Now, most people will talk about Eli, and, we're split down the middle on that. He gave us 2 Super Bowls, and, why knock him, or he's done. So I think that's split, but I'd say the majority of people thought that what Odell did the other day on Sunday was wrong.
Good to visit with you, Michael. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate your time as always.
Anytime, Dan, anytime.
Thank you, bud. That's Michael Kay, Yankee broadcaster.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.